friends, you're listening to the Shattered Ceilings podcast with your hosts Stephanie and Adriana. We're here to discuss the importance of mental health from the perspective of two first-generation immigrants. Join in weekly as we dive into important topics such as relationships, parenting, and cultural barriers. Here, we get real and candid as we explore what disrupting the status quo looks like for each of us. Hey guys, welcome back to the final episode. We are so sad, but it is not.
Bunch of emotions.
I know, it's not a goodbye, it's a see you later.
Yeah.
In today's episode, I'm excited because it's just going to be fun, casual, and we're going to talk about this year and our favorite episodes, things we've learned, and I'm kind of excited just to have like a little table talk with you.
Agree. Yeah, it's been a crazy year. I can't believe it's been almost a year.
Yeah,
That's
I remember
so nuts.
last December is when you like approached me at the Christmas party or Friendsgiving.
Yep.
And you're like,
exactly.
do you want to do a podcast with me? And I was like, I mean, why not? I have nothing else going in my life. And then
the baby came.
Yeah, it's just
we thought
crazy.
it was going to be such a chill year. It wasn't.
I know, for me and for you, though.
Yeah, it was a crazy year.
It's cool to see how far we've come
and
what the new year brings us.
I know. I feel like it's a perfect time to wrap it up, of course, because this last episode will be coming out between Christmas and New Year's. I'm proud of us for sure.
For like sticking with
it. For a year. Like that's huge. I mean, now we've clocked in with this one 28, I think, episodes.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
It is. I feel like I've been gone since I technically did only a few.
Yeah, but it was only like 3 or 4 that you were not.
And I do need to catch up on a few of them. I feel like mom life is real. When I thought I was busy before a baby, now I'm like, okay, I'm actually busy.
Yeah.
Like it's intense.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I kind of want to start off a little bit. You can interrupt me whenever.
No, go ahead.
I wanted to talk about like my favorite episode, or I guess things we've learned. But before that, I know I keep mentioning my baby, but I feel like that was such a big moment.
Yeah, of course.
So with that being said, when I was pregnant, we actually did an episode on like motherhood. And I remember I told myself like, I'm going to go back and listen to it. And I did. And that just like resonated so much. And it was so cool to like talk about it before. And then now that I'm a mom, I'm just like, this is my new like identity in a sense. And it's so cool. And now
that was one of my favorites too.
It's just so, and I like relate to so many moms now, and it's, being a mom is so cool and it's such a privilege. And I feel like you just go out in public and you see other moms and I'm like, I got you.
Solidarity.
Yeah, literally like respect.
We get each other more. That's so true.
Yeah. So I really love the episode just because that was in the season I was in. And I think overall talking about mental health and just what our community deals with, I've had so many people approach me that probably would have not approached me, and they were more open. So that was really cool. I went to Michigan before, like in the summertime, and we were like in a small little boutique that sold baby clothes. And the 2 girls kind of looked like Romanian, but I'm like, in Michigan, everyone's so diverse. So I didn't know. And we're like checking out, and this girl's like, do you have a podcast?
Oh, that's so cool.
I felt famous for a second. And I was like, yeah, I do. She's cool. Like, I listened to your podcast. I'm Romanian. I was like, oh my gosh, small world. Like every Romanian knows each other. And we like sat down for 30 minutes just talking about like her upbringing, what she's struggling with. And it's like, that was so cool that she like talked to me and we like had a moment. And I was like, this is why we did it.
Yeah.
And absolutely. Even like family members would come up to me and start like approaching to me about a few subjects we talked about. And I'm like, that was the point of this, that people could be open-minded and that we could just sit and talk and realize like everyone's dealing with the same issues.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think that was kind of the whole premise for really everything and every episode. And I mean, every episode was like my favorite in some way, but I feel like the overarching theme for me was just like, it was like such a year of growth for me. Like every episode that we did, that we researched and we recorded and put out there, like I learned so much, not only about the topic, but of course applying it to like myself and you. And
like we were going through it.
Yeah, we were literally going through it. And I feel like it was such a just year of growth and change. And every episode was amazing to me in some way. I love the episode will forever stick out, the one that Anka and Andrea came on.
I was going to say, I know that. Yeah.
I love that one. It was like, I was geeking out the whole time because it's like what I love, what I'm studying. So that was super cool. But then truly every episode, I love the one we just did with Jason. It was so just fascinating to me, talking about male mental health. Every topic, really, I look back, and when we started this, my goal was like, okay, I love podcasts. When I'm done with this, like, I want to look back and listen to every episode and still love it.
Yeah.
And I feel like that. Like, I feel like I could listen, not that it's mine, but even if it was just somebody else's, and just be like, hey, we did so good. Like, I love listening to every episode, and I truly feel like we did that.
You were the researcher and got everything together.
And you were the practical side, which was perfect. We were like the perfect combination, I feel like, because you got deep so many times. And I know that a lot of people related to what you said.
Yeah. It's hard to get deep also.
Yeah.
I feel like
in front of hundreds, thousands of people.
Yeah. I also realized when we were going to start podcasting that I didn't know we were going to be on video. And I remember you like showed up at my house with a camera and everything. And I was like, oh, what is this? And you're like, we're going to be on video. And I'm just so not comfortable with that. Even to this day. I mean, right before we start recording, I'm just like, okay.
Yeah.
So I feel like that also got me out of my comfort.
But isn't it cool to look back now and see yourself being so confident on video and like...
Okay, not confident. Comfortable.
Yeah.
Is a better word.
Yeah.
So it was cool to see myself grow and get pushed in areas where I'm like, okay, I am not comfortable having my face blasted everywhere, especially during pregnancy. There's some videos where I'm like, I'm just swollen and I just know like mentally I wasn't feeling good, but I'm like, you know what? Here, my body's changing. I'm pregnant. Like, why would I not be on the podcast? Like, it's okay.
What's crazy is you found out you were pregnant, I think the week before we recorded. Yes. And you've been such a trooper, especially as a first pregnancy. Like, moms will understand with first pregnancies, it's hard.
It's a lot tough. Like mentally and physically. And all of that.
For sure.
So I'm thankful I did it. And even when I look back at episodes, I'm like, oh, this is when I was this much pregnant and this is how I felt. So it's also cool to look back.
That's pretty cool. It'll be like milestones looking back. And
I know. Where I laugh because I'm like, Arthur knows your voice. He always heard you.
Skumpo. That's so cute.
Yeah.
So other than that, I mean, I can't really think of anything else. Like I said, it's just been a year of growth. And what I've learned more than anything is we're a huge community of like-minded people. And at the beginning, it felt like we were like alone in this big sea. But then I feel like the more, and this is what's interesting, like I feel like when God calls you to do something, even if you feel alone, he'll open doors and bring people close to you that like relate or share the same vision. And it's just like strengthens you like in that journey that he wants you to take. So it's been really cool to kind of just connect with like-minded people and talk about the importance. Again, this is something that I think my kids and your kids will look back on and be like, who knows, 20, 25 years like from now, hey mom, I'm proud of you. Like, thanks for talking about that.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that we didn't shy away from stuff even when it was uncomfortable. And I hope that it encourages people to do the same.
I know. I love that you said that because it is true. You always feel like more of an outcast, like, oh, I'm the only one that thinks like this, or there's only a few of us. But having our voice out there, a lot of people would reach out and be like, hey, I'm the same way. And it's more comforting in realizing we're not alone. And if someone's dealing with what we dealt with years ago, like there's a happy ending.
Yeah, for sure. So. And I'm thinking now in the Bible, when people would have an encounter with God, especially in the Old Testament, they would like make an altar to remember, like an altar of remembrance. And I feel like this podcast, like, is that, at least for me,
it's a physical thing that's going to be there.
Back, exactly. And I'm like, hey, that was a time in our life when we took a step into the unknown. I mean, first of all, the technology, guys, is so difficult. Like, it was so hard to
I thought I was tech savvy until we started this. And I'm like, I know nothing about podcasting.
Yeah, exactly. But I think we've done pretty good. And like I said, I'm really proud. I think this is a super cool just thing that we're able to bond together over. And I'm proud of us. It wasn't easy for sure, but it was worth it. And it's an encouragement if you have something like that you feel like is tugging on your heart.
Yeah, like that you want to do
it, because life is too short. Like, I knew this would be a regret of mine if I never did it. And so even now, I've had people tell, like, me, probably you too, like, why are you ending it? Like, you know, keep going.
I haven't told anyone yet.
Really? Shoot, maybe I should have said it.
I mean, I've been in, like, my mom bubble where all I really see is my family.
Yeah.
So that's probably why.
That makes sense.
But I did want to also say with doing this, and it's, like, something you wanted to do, I never thought about doing it. But when you asked me, I was kind of like, I can't say no. Like, I felt like, I need to do it. And I'm happy that I did. With that being said, I do want to ask you, like, do you have anything that you have on your heart that you're looking forward to, like, in the next year or so?
Oh, that's a great question.
I know we didn't talk about it, but I'm actually just curious
that's
as
so
a friend
smart.
too, and a viewer.
No, that's so smart. So I kind of got back into the work field a couple weeks ago, or months ago, I should say, right when I started, when we did the Working Moms episode.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting because I haven't been working for the last almost 6 years since Samson was born. And so I've kind of gotten back into that. And I was talking to Adrienne, I'm starting my practicum next year for my master's. Yeah.
So proud.
It's going to be a crazy year. But I'm looking forward to it. I feel like both me and my husband, this is just like a season for us of like pushing and like growth. Like, I don't know, we just feel like we've coasted a little bit and now it's like God's pushing us to do.
Time to go. Yeah. New season.
Yeah. And I feel like we're both on the same page and it helps to have a supportive partner. We talked about that in the 7-year slump video. Yes. And I felt like I was prophesying then because I didn't know really what
you were going to go.
Yeah. So that's kind of what I'm doing next year and just still focusing on school, powering through. That's my number one love and joy. So, and it's so funny because I feel like we're not in opposite seasons, but now you're doing the mom life.
Yeah, that's like super inspiring and I love it because I feel like the last 7 years I've been like
hustling,
grinding, like so much change. And now it does feel good to like just be home. And some days, because I was just talking to a friend who doesn't have kids yet, and she's like, man, I'm so busy with work and this and this. And I looked at her and I was like,
you don't
enjoy it because sometimes I'm like home and I'm such a like productive person that at the end of the day, like James will come home and be like, oh, how was your day? And I'm like, I just stayed home all day, but I kept him alive. And that's
you're today. So you're it's in like the trenches in the beginning, of course.
It's a beautiful thing to realize, like, I had my time and now I'm in a season of just like, it's slower and I love it. And I'm like ready for it. So I'm excited.
You're an amazing mom.
I'm trying. I'm really trying. I'm excited because I have like a creative side to me. So I feel like now as a mom, when he naps, I haven't started yet because I'm still like newborn stage. But I want to get back into like my creativeness and I'm excited to have like my alone time and to like have my hobbies and stuff. Because when you are working a lot, it's hard to just...
You don't have time for that,
Yeah, you don't have any free time.
What's really nice is you'll see, I mean, you were juggling a lot of stuff before, but being a mom, I feel makes you like 10 times more efficient.
Good.
Just because,
that is true. I can do everything with one hand now.
Yeah, you multitask. You're like, I have this much time. I need to get this done. It just, and again, there's a season for everything. The season that you have to pour into Arthur and into your kids is...
It's so important.
Second to, like, that's eternal.
Yeah.
That's, what's the most important. And the time will come even now for me. I'm like, it's hard for me. I'm like, Samson's in school, he doesn't need me so much anymore. He wants to be with his dad more. Like, it's so crazy to see. He was a mama's boy. Now he just wants to be with his dad. Yeah. Sienna's going to be in school. So it's like
it's the time
letting go a little bit. Yeah. So it's the time. So I'm excited to see what the next year is going to bring us. I mean, if it flies by as quick as this year, I won't believe it.
The older you get, time just flies by, which is exciting and it makes me want to be more intentional. Obviously with my viewers, I'll probably post on my Instagram. I've always had, just because when you brought up your podcast, that it's like always been on your heart. Like women ministry has always been on my heart, especially towards like Romanians, because I feel like that's lacking a lot in the community. And for the last 5 years, I've always wanted to like host a Bible study, host like girl things. And I would, but I would always like half do it because I was so busy with work and I felt like not genuine. So now I'm like, okay, I know I'll be busy being a mom, but I only have one. And I want to be more intentional with like hanging out with moms and learning from them, learning from the older people. I'm really big with like learning from older people. So if you are an older woman,
hit up Adrienne.
I would just love to learn like how to be the best wife, how to be the best mom. And the Bible does say for the older to teach the younger.
Of course, yep.
So I've been looking for that. And there's just so many questions when you're a mom. And obviously I'm going to like learn on my own skin, but I love to hear advice from older and wiser women, especially Christian women. So I'm excited to see who else God will bring into my life to kind of show me.
Don't give up that's a great thing. Discipleship, that's kind of lacking in the Romanian community.
There's so many awesome people that would come up to me like, hey, how was postpartum? I know you can get anxious and depressed. And it was so cool to have people like remind me or just like ask how I'm doing. And I realized like I have such a good community around me that if I didn't, I could see myself going down that hole. And I know people still have communities still go down that hole, but it was just much easier to be aware and be like, hey, like I got this amazing. And people have me. So
you were aware of it before too. And like you said, you have that community.
So I really feel like mom community is so big and important, and it'd be cool to meet other moms. And I'm part of the mom group now.
Mom meetup. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
I keep talking about being a mom, but it really does change. Like, this is who I am. Like, people make their career their life. I'm like, well, now I'm a mom, and I'll be a mom for the rest of my life.
Yep.
So
yeah, it's interesting, so cool. For sure. And the older they get, I mean, you always have that kind of hustle in you. And even whatever, when they're, even if they're in school and you and James decide that you want to get back into your career, like, that'll always be a part of you. But the main thing will be that you're a mom, and everything kind of comes alongside that.
I know. I'm excited.
Yeah,
it's super cool.
Awesome.
And I'm praying for all the girls that want to be moms, because it's a privilege and such a big responsibility that,
you need a community around you. That's for sure. So we'll kind of wrap it up, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
You have a little thing that you wrote that I thought was like super well thought out.
A little letter, that we wrote, and I think it's
perfect.
Pretty spot on.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and read it, and we'll wrap up today's episode. So, hey friends, Stephanie here along with my co-host Adriana. Can you believe this is it? The final moments of the Shattered Ceilings podcast journey. We're feeling a mix of emotions right now: nostalgia, gratitude, a little sadness, but most importantly, an overwhelming sense of gratification. When we started this journey, we didn't know much about podcasting, about each other, or about the incredible community that we would build together. But oh my gosh, how we have grown. Being first-generation Americans, we discovered a super unique solidarity, a shared experience of navigating between two worlds. And through the highs and the lows, you guys have been with us, cheering us on. So your support has meant the absolute world to us. Every message, every share, every connection, it fueled us to keep going. And we've learned so much about ourselves, about you, and about the power of stories. Your stories, our stories, they've shaped this podcast into something that we're both incredibly proud of. So we hope this podcast stands as a beacon of light that lights a path that many more of you will embark on. Be a voice, tell your story, and most importantly, be the change you want to see in our community. We're not just listeners, we're a family connected by shared narratives and a determination to create lasting impact. This isn't a goodbye, it's a see you later, like Adriana said. The journey doesn't end here, it merely takes a new turn. We're cheering for you guys always. Thank you, Shattered Ceilings family, for being a part of this incredible journey. We're signing off with love, laughter, and endless gratitude. Love, Stephanie and Adriana.